What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. Honey, we are down here, honey. We don't have nothing to talk about. I was coming to my little normal little park here, honey. Look like they got stuff going on. I need to get down here earlier. I'm down here later. And school is letting out at the different schools in our neighborhood. Um, Yesterday my son, he was promoted. I was looking online. I was like, when did they start calling 8th grade graduation promotion? Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. Yeah, because my son graduated the 8th grade. So graduated or was promoted? Girl, I don't know. They were promoted to high school. I said, oh, they really try to get the worker mentality in their minds very early. Because I feel like that's what school is. I have come to learn that that's what school in America is, an indoctrination system, right? And I mean, like, okay, whatever. Anyways, okay, so so he graduated from 8th grade yesterday, and that was it. So there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of schools letting out today, tomorrow, and stuff like that. His school is still in session, though. It was just the end for the 8th graders, and it was the end for the 8th graders, and he didn't have to go to school today, but the 7th graders got to go to school today, okay? Oh, it's a little hospice place over here. The whatchamacallits, the ambulance are out there. So we don't have anything to talk about. There are a few things that I saw down to the blogs, honey.
I sponsor the blog.
Let me tell you something.
I'm trying to get my coffee. We're not going to Starbucks or anything like that. I made coffee this morning, okay? So it's a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. Yeah, so first, I didn't know when they started calling 8th grade graduation promotion. I didn't know when they started doing that. I would like to know when they started doing that, talking about they like to save the word graduation for high school. I'm like, okay, what's the difference? Anyways, y'all educators, let me know, because I don't know the difference. And then it was something else I wanted to tell y'all about. It was something else. Oh, this wasn't it, but I thought about this. This come to mind. I really want to I have a goal, y'all, and I be looking at the likes. And my son, he acts like he's a manager. The one who graduated 8th grade, he acts like he's my social media manager, talking about the likes don't match the views. And I be having like 7,000 views and less than 1,000 likes. So I would really appreciate it if y'all would like the video. If you're watching on your television, just go to your YouTube app on your phone and like the video. I'm really trying to get my videos to have over 1,000 likes. That's a goal for mine, but y'all gonna have to help me. Y'all gonna have to help me with my goal. You understand? So, girl, I'm trying to get my coffee, but I don't want it to spill, and it's sitting down. It's too big to fit in the damn cup holder, so it's sitting in the. It need to have a seatbelt on. It's sitting in the chair right here. So anyway, now I'm trying to think of all the news and announcements that I had this morning. It was something else I wanted to tell y'all about. Maybe I'll think of it anyway. So. Yeah, y'all got the New Jersey review. It cut off, and I was just like, I don't feel like coming back and talking. I think I got out what I need to get out and how I felt about the whole little situation, okay? And now that it's over, now we can talk about Young, Famous, and African, because I'm going to rewatch that, and then we'll be able to come down here and talk about it. Y'all probably have already watched the episodes. I know people binge watch the episodes and forget about it. But, and it's been out for a while. And then I also am watching I've watched, it's over now, on Hulu, Secrets and Sisterhood. It's about this Afghani family, which is funny because I was looking them up because I wanted to see, it's about this Afghani family, Muslim family of sisters, 10 biological sisters. They're, 10 biological sisters, and telling their stories. They're pretty much, all of them are pretty much successful in their own right, but the main one, the one who shopped the show, who wants to be treated like the queen of the show, who wants to be the center, when it comes out, like she's like the show was another character in the series, and they're Muslim. So I posted it on the community page. They're balancing their culture, their them being American. Some of them are American. Four of them were born in Afghanistan. Well, so when I went to do research looking for the reason why the father was Killed, I didn't know anything about this family. Turns out the one who shot the show, Shakur, that's her name. She shot the show, sold it to Hulu or whoever they sold the show to, Disney, whoever. She was in a lawsuit with Chris Brown's child's mother, had a restraining order against her because the child's mother said that Shakur acted like she wanted to kidnap Royal. That's Chris Brown's little girl's name. Lil Royal. And so, yeah, and then of course I found a Reddit, and there was a Reddit thread that was talking about how they used to say that they were Egyptian, and now all of a sudden they're Afghani. So, people of that ethnicity and culture were like, of course had their critiques, where we're over here like, oh wow, look at their traditions, da 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 da. But the people in the comments were like, they're a horrible representation. And you know how they do with black women, right? When black women are on TV in any kind of capacity, there's going to be another group of black women saying, and black men saying, they're a horrible representation. Remember how they did Atlanta Housewives? They're a horrible representation. So, yeah. So, people are like, yeah, I guess it was profitable for them to say they were Egyptian, but, now it's popular to say you're from Afghanistan. It's okay now and this and that or whatever. So that was some, critiques about them that I saw online. So, yeah. So that's that on that. What else? I'm trying to think. The thing with Suki, I do want to talk about that with what's his name? YK Osiris and DJ A1. I guess Suki was on Candy Coated Nights a few months ago. And, Candy has to beat us over the head that she's some kind of freak, honey, and she's comfortable with talking about sex, girl. So she has to beat us over the head with Candy Coated Nights. So she was on Candy Coated Nights, and Suki, the way, her her persona and the things that she rap about, she'd be a perfect guest on a show that is about sex, right? Perfect. The clip that I saw, A1 was telling Sukiana that he wanted to put his face between her legs. He was just talking dirty to her, and she was like, yeah, I like that. He was like, oh, she liked that kind of stuff because Candy was like, you're being aggressive. She said it. I saw a post. I don't remember what blog it was, but they were like, Candy is getting backlash because he basically told Candy to shut her ass up. Oh, she like that. That's what she about, And then there's women in the comments, honey, saying that's how she presented herself. So you can't expect people to treat her like that. And I was like, wow. So y'all really think that when women get assaulted and RAPE, when they have on like short skirts and stuff like that, that they kind of like ask for it, huh? Because that's what it's giving. It's giving that because Sukiana she's free with her mouth when it's time to talk about sex. She's sexually liberated. She's letting people walk her like a dog in music videos, holding her hair, walking her like a dog. She's doing all of this. So any type of violation that she is on the other side of from a man, she asked for it. That's what y'all say. That's what y'all basically said. Her persona asked for it. When she told A1, yeah, I like that in the bedroom, like not right now. He was like, nah, now you done met your match. I feel like I feel like it was wrong. And then YK Osiris, right? They were at some type of panel discussion. It was Lil Duval, Sukiana, I think this other comedian. But you gotta watch Little Duval. You gotta watch. I'm gonna put it here. Little Duval is a dangerous little leprechaun. He really is. He's a dangerous little leprechaun, because when that young dude went over to Suki, he pulled her head back. Now she's sitting on a panel. They told him kiss her. Now y'all gonna have to stop doing that, because unless she gives consent to, okay, he can kiss me, he shouldn't be trying to kiss her. She did it once. She moved her head away. He did it again. He pulled her head back this time. Her mouth was open. He put his mouth on her mouth. And she didn't did her head back like that. Like, no, she didn't want that. And it's like, when do you take the hint? And I could see why so many of y'all end up with cases, because the women say no, either in body language or explicitly verbally say, no, I don't want that. I don't like that. And y'all say, no, fuck that. That's how you showed up. Or you keep doing it and other people are around you encouraging it. But watch Little Duval. Them niggas you gotta watch out for. That's a dangerous little leprechaun, because Little Duval, I'm gonna park right here. Little Duval, he turned away and they completely ignored what was happening. They literally were just like, this man had his hands around Sukiana's head. For those who haven't seen it, he took her head back like that and was putting his head like this on her and trying to kiss her. And she turned her face away at first and she was like, no, her eyes were like, what is he doing? Like, what? But kind of like not trying to look like, trying to, what happens when people are in those situations, you're expecting them to stop to do, but a lot of times people get in shock, fight or flight or fawn, and some people just stay there like, what is he doing to me, right? Lil Duval is like, he look over and see her, and then he looking the other way, like literally looking the other way, like there's no one saying, yo bro, stop that, she don't want that, she doesn't like that, stop it. And he's just laughing. He's come out and he has since apologized, y'all. And then there's another clip, look like of the same situation. Suki wasn't there. It was Lil Duval, that same comedian. And this Latinx dude walks up to Little Duval and starts whispering something in his ear. And then here comes security. And I'm like, okay, so when Sukiana was being assaulted, where was the security? I'm so confused. I'm really confused. And it is just an example of what so many women have gone through. One, being assaulted and no one in proximity. Little Duval was literally sitting right next to her. Didn't say, bro, stop it. Cut it out. Nothing. He literally turned his head and was looking the other way. Like literally looking the other way and acted like he couldn't see or hear what was going on. He acted like he couldn't see or hear that a woman was being assaulted sitting right next to him. And I'm reading the comments of women, profile pictures of women, right? You don't know who's behind a profile, right? So it's just a profile pic of a woman saying, well, that's how she presents herself. Meanwhile, on the other end of the internet, there's this story going around of this girl at Home Depot, fully dressed in her Home Depot uniform, saying she left a caption saying, I was told that I was too pretty to work at Home Depot. Do you know that these terrorists doxed this girl, found out where she worked, and are harassing her? So she's fully dressed being harassed, and Sukiana's on the other end of the spectrum being harassed. I want to read somebody's comment. I want to read somebody's comment that summed it all the way up. Summed it all the way up. Because I'm like, y'all are really in the comments victim blaming, saying that's what she gets because that's how she presents herself. So you should expect niggas to violate you. You should expect that out of men. If you're running around acting like you're this sexually liberated woman, you have no qualms about talking about sex, you are very explicit in the way that you talk about sex, you have images of yourself online, sucking D, doing whatever, having sex acts with your boyfriend or whatever. So you are asking to be violated by men. Ain't that something? It's a lot of women in the comments saying stuff like that. I'm gonna read you. I'm gonna read you what was said about some of the people. And this is from Cindy. This is from Cindy Noir on Twitter. She said, unfortunately, Miss Home Depot and Suki are both stories and sides of the same bitter coin. There's nothing a woman can do to escape male entitlement to our bodies, because the issue isn't our form of expression. The issue is how males are conditioned to view women. Women are conditioned to be seen as property, here to serve men. The way we carry ourselves and how we show up in the world is solely for the appeal of men. That's why when women go to the gym and they have on their cute gym outfits, them niggas think it's for them. They don't think it that you want to look cute while you working out, like you want to feel good about yourself, so you got your little matching outfit on or whatever, looking cute, doing your little reps and stuff. They think it's for them. They think you go to the gym for them. Girl, it's a mess. And men are taught that they're entitled to us because they're men, and we're the reward for being a man in this society. I tell my sons, you are not entitled to girls just because you exist, just because they exist. You are entitled to none of them. None of them are required to like you back when you like them. None of them are required to give you anything that you ask for. You ask them for their phone number, they're not required to give it to you just because you exist. Y'all got to get out of please stop teaching your sons that they are entitled. Make sure you get that in their head before they get into a community of other men, because other men will actually influence them and teach them that a woman is there. Her existing is for you. Her existing is for you. That's why they have a problem with lesbians. Because a lesbian is like, absolutely not. I don't want you in any form or shape or capacity. They don't understand it because they've been taught you are for me and what you do is for me. And if you dress like that, you're telling me that I can violate you. And that's what I said on Twitter. Just because a woman sells sex doesn't mean you get to steal it. It's an exchange. An exchange. Sex workers experience so much violation because the men feel like, well, you're here, I don't have to pay you for nothing. Your body is mine. And it's for mine to take whenever I want to. That's why rape sentences are so low. Because that's how this is the society, the system, and the matrix that you live under. Where the men, and then when y'all fall into these roles, that's why I beat on y'all. When y'all fall into these roles and you want to play these roles where you kind of position, inadvertently, but you kind of position a man over you in a hierarchy. Where he's supposed to do this, and he's supposed to do this, and he's supposed to do this for me. Well, if he's supposed to do all these things, he's going to have some expectations, sweetheart. I want to get on Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. And the reason why she says she goes 50-50, because y'all got on her ass. Ain't no 50-50 over here, bitch. We showing up equally in this partnership. Whether you got more strengths and weaknesses in the area than I do, but we showing up equally. Dwayne Wade told her one time, this is my house. She said, oh no, nigga, never again. You will never, ever be able to put me in a position where you tell me this is my house. We splitting everything, period. So when y'all was down here dragging Gabrielle Union through the bushes, she had a very valid reason. You don't ever put yourself in a position to where a motherfucker can financially abuse you and tell you this is my shit. Girl, please. Ever. Don't you ever show up in no relationship where you are having these patriarchal expectations of a man and he starts treating you like you in a patriarchy. Don't do it. I want him to take care of me. He's supposed to protect and provide. And it comes with some other things too in exchange for that. Dwayne Wade told her, this is my house. She said, absolutely not. Hell no. I'm going to finish reading Cindy Noir's thing. She says, you can be a modest woman and males will feel entitled to your body because of your exclusivity and them wanting to be the one of few. You can be sexually free and open and they'll feel entitled under the assumption that you're for everybody. So why not? There's no escape. She's right. She's right. And that's how they feel. That's how they feel. And so for YK Osiris to come up from behind Sukiana, pull her head back, and proceed to kiss her, she did not ask for a kiss. She did not say it was okay. She kept her mouth open. She should have closed her mouth, but you don't know what a person who is shocked, how you will respond. She was violated. I don't give a damn if Suki showed us the inside of her a-hole every single day on the internet. It does not give a man a right to violate her. Anyone a right to violate her. And for women to be in the comments saying, that's what you get, because that's how you showed up. Y'all out of order. Y'all are out of order. Y'all need to check yourselves. Because, honey, look at the church girl. Honey, look at the church girl, Denia. Look how she was mistreated. It don't matter. It don't matter. You could be a church girl or a whore. They're going to treat you the same way. Because they feel entitled to you. They've been raised to feel entitled to you. And if there's no transaction, they're going to take it. They don't want to do a transaction. They jealous because they have to do it. There's some of you that will fully show up like this is a transaction. If you do for me, I'll do for you. You do for me, I'll do for you. Some men will just take it. And then y'all will sit there and ignore people being assaulted. It's crazy. Let's see what else. Here's another one. The Suki and Home Depot girl situation just showed how entitled men feel to women's bodies. Whether she's overtly sexual or modest, it don't matter. Y'all feel like y'all deserve women's bodies no matter what, and it's so aggravating. Do y'all understand the word no? Let me tell you when they understand the word no. When the person who is not asking for consent is another man. Niggas know consent. When a gay man pulls up on them and whispers in their ear and starts nibbling on their earlobe, they understand consent then. I didn't tell you you could do that. You get away from me. When it's their asshole, they understand consent. That's what at first I was like, these niggas don't understand consent. No, they do. They understand consent. They just don't feel like they need to get it from you hoes and you bitches or you women. They don't. Suki is open with her sex life and got harassed. Home Depot girl likes modesty and was doxxed for not having an OnlyFans. Do y'all see how insane y'all are? Well, Suki said she ain't said she want to do that with you. It's not an open invitation, weirdo. Y'all irritate me so bad. Y'all behave like animals when a girl who never wanted you sexually in the first place says no. Neither Suki or Home Depot girl said they wanted y'all. Why y'all so mad? They understand wanting power over women's bodies, aka patriarchy. Now this is a person with a man in his profile pic. It's the woman shaming at Home Depot girl for no reason and who doxed her for not having an OF. Everyone is talking about it was the woman who doxed her, fine. But and it's a lot of the times like the woman who doxed the mental health professional. What's her name? Brianna, who they ended up calling her job and she ended up getting fired. Yeah, because it's the women, those are the women who feel like if they behave a certain way and they say certain things, they'll get picked by one of these nasty niggas. So they do things for them, right? Let's find out where she works. I'm going to do this for them so hopefully I get picked. You want to get picked by these people acting like savages? That's who you want to get picked by, girl. So you're going to help them. You're going to do their bidding for them. Absolutely out of control. Let's go to the blogs, honey. So I don't know if Tyler Perry is buying BET Media Group or not. Some people said it. They said it came from an unreliable source. So people are taking down their post because that's not what's happening. And then you got Meek Mill on the other end, and this is another problem. This is what, you got to expect men to come out to support other men in their degeneracy because that is the culture of their identity. That's the culture of their identity. When a man is being criticized for how he showed up and his behavior and how what he did to Suki is assault. Here comes Meek Mill. Y'all drawing a big line in the sand between men and women nowadays on social. It's getting bad in the black community where women are murdered every 4.5 hours, and the average black woman by the time she turns 18 has been sexually assaulted in some way, right? Okay. It's getting bad. Oh, okay. All of this internet superficial shaming, judging, gaslighting only hurt us. People, oh girl, I'm trying to read Meek Mill's tweet, child. All this internet superficial shaming, judging, gaslighting only hurt us people. And it's a lot of people who need strength, especially young black men. He might got a rumble Suki's brother, anything, but this same internet tear each other down stuff, Suki can do what she wants. She feels violated, but let me mind my business. Don't do this to him. He's a good kid. Just slap him. He gotta let you something. What? We don't need our young bulls torn down for mistakes in this hypersexual era. I support Suki. Hold that shit down on some street shit. Girl, I don't understand. And then Suki tweeted, I am hurt and I am scared to stand up for myself. Okay, YK, did I call him okay? YK Osiris said, I want to publicly offer my sincerest apology to Sukiana. In an attempt to be playful, I misread the moment and no, because you did it twice. So you misread it twice? Okay. I misread the moment and violated Sukiana's boundaries. I understand the importance of consent, and I am embarrassed by my behavior. I take full responsibility and have made multiple attempts to apologize. I have the utmost admiration for Sukiana, and it was never my intention to disrespect her. He went over there, he was massaging her shoulders, he's behind her. He went in for like a kiss, went like this, and when she went back, then he got on her face. Moving away from you. You misread someone moving away from you, girl. And if you watch Little Duval, he literally looks over and then he turns around. And Little Duval is the one that had the tweet. Little Duval is always saying something disgusting, but he had some tweets about his daughter a few months ago. Somebody needs to keep an eye on his ass. They really do. Jessica White pins a lengthy message about healing from her relationship with Nick Cannon. I felt like you always put other women on a pedestal. What gave you that indication, girl? What gave you that indication? What girl? Jessica White is on the new season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I guess she felt like After revealing that she will be on the upcoming season of Love and Hip Hop, Jessica White penned a lengthy message to Nick Cannon about how she was able to heal from their relationship. She says that Nick is upset about the show, but she needs to live and speak her truth. Cannon and White spent 8 years together before breaking things off in 2020 after suffering a miscarriage. You know, girl, I'm just going to say it. That miscarriage might have been a blessing for you. So you won't be in the circus that's going on over there. So you don't be in the circus that's going on over there. Nick, Mariah Carey is trying to not be included in that circus that Nick Cannon has going on. That miscarriage might have been a blessing for you, my dear. Let's read what she said, girl, Jessica White. Tried to reach out to you, but here's my book at Nick Cannon. She tags him. I know you're upset about the show, but after 8 years, I can't stand when things catch you off guard and feel like you deserve way more respect as a man, even though I may be more respectful than you ever gave me with public announcements. Right. LOL. I have loved and gave 8 ride or die years to you. You got your badges? Your badges is clinking. Girl, I gotta make sure this motherfucker is on. Are your badges, all your achievements clanking? You and Khloe Kardashian running down the hall with your badges on your vest. Ride or die. It's a little, y'all know the emoji with the little lady climbing the mountain? That's a ride or die. You climbing the mountain, honey. Hanging on. Just hanging on. Girl, I have loved and gave 8 ride or die years to you with my head held high and heart praying you'd see me the way I deserve. 8 years of trying to get somebody to see you for what you deserve. You know, I know a lot of women have stories about not showing up as their best selves in relationships with men. There are millions, billions of stories of women who can tell you a time in their life where when they showed up in this relationship, they weren't their best selves. They had low self-esteem. They didn't love themselves as much as they should. There are so many women. I have a couple, okay? I don't know if it's a rite of passage, but when we are down here talking about these women, it is in an effort that you don't repeat what other women have gone through. But for some, like I used to tell my class, some of y'all have to have the experience. I can tell you my experience every day. Some of you have to actually go through the experience to understand the lesson. You understand? I can tell you what I went through. Another woman can tell you what she went through and how she overcame and how she got out of it and how long she stayed. But it might be a rite of passage to actually have the experience of being mistreated by someone who is giving you less than what you actually deserve because you yourself didn't show up the right way. You didn't have the tools. Once you have the tools, the goal is don't show up like that anymore. When someone shows you who they are, you believe them. When they start waving red flags and whistles and bells and shit start going off behind them, that's when you get your shit and grab your keys and get the fuck up out of there. That's the reason why, and hopefully these videos and other women who are online trying to use these women as examples to tell you 8 years? No. 8 years of you trying to get someone to see your value, it's a no. That's the point. Because nobody is above it, right? I'm sure everybody can share a story about a relationship they've been in where they didn't show up as their best selves and they got done wrong by their standards. The point is not to keep doing it over and over and over and over with the next man, with the next man, with the next man, with the next man. That's the purpose. Because again, a lot of us have gone through bullshit with men. And you see how they're socialized to behave. And so now you have so many women online sharing their stories in hopes that when you get into a relationship with a man and he starts showing you whatever whatever signs, you are supposed to take out your book and be like, okay, I said I didn't want this, and this. This is how I'm showing up. I need to get my self-esteem in order so I'm not treated like this again. You exit the relationship, and if you choose to go to another relationship, you're showing up differently. If this man starts exhibiting behaviors that are flashing lights, the damn sirens going off, bells going off, red flags popping up from behind his head, you grab your shit and you get the fuck up out of there. That's the purpose of these videos. That's the purpose of why we talk about these things. Because no one is above being mistreated by someone, because you never know how they're going to treat you when it's time to treat you a certain way. That's why it's important to read the Yelp reviews. Bambi over there going through it with Scrappy. The Yelp reviews were out there. These are public figures. Kendra over there with Jaceel. Every time I look at Kendra, I am so disappointed in her because he has 9 children by like 8 different women. There's no reason in the world that you thought that you deserved to be with a man, with the village slut. There's no way that you thought you a real estate attorney, closing attorney. Isn't that what she does? There's no way that you thought that you deserved a man with 9 children by 8 different women. There's no way you thought you deserved that and that you continue to deserve that. When I said I felt kind of bad and I deleted the tweet. I felt bad after I said I don't want to see nothing with Jaceel and Kendra talking about love. That's not love. I don't give a damn what you say. You don't love yourself if you think you deserve a man with 9 children by 8 different women. You don't love yourself. And when these men are public and their damn Yelp reviews are out and you walk into the room chastising the other woman, chastising Erica, girl, you crazy? Why would you chastise Erica over what she went over with Scrappy? You saw it. And you still went into that relationship and had 3 children back to back. And then they over there arguing. And he said something about being horrible. And she said, I didn't know you were that horrible. He said, oh, you didn't know I was that horrible? Yes, you did. You knew he was that horrible. You seen the way he showed up in his relationship with Erica. You saw it. And now you're expecting a different dining experience? Absolutely not. Because guess what? Same thing with Nick Cannon, Jessica White. Anybody that come after Nick Cannon or go with Nick Cannon or have a baby with Nick Cannon, you know the Yelp reviews are out. You know what's happening over there. And you wait around for 8 years for a man to see your value? Girl, who doesn't see the value in himself? He doesn't see the value in himself because he's out procreating and creating father deficient children. He doesn't see the value in himself. Let me finish reading her damn thing. With your head held high, I wanted it to work. Prayed every day. And then y'all be praying to a male deity thinking you, girl, okay. Girl, praying every day that you'd see me and love me the way that I loved you. Maybe you did that maybe you did, but just kept it from me during the relationship. No, he didn't. Don't even tell yourself maybe he loved you and just kept it from you, girl. He don't love himself. A lot of these niggas don't love themselves. Especially a man going around just screwing a bunch of women, having a bunch of babies all over the place. They don't love themselves. You can't love yourselves and you put your life at risk like that, sleeping with a bunch of women. And I don't want to hear they sex addicts. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I walked away with more questions than anything. I don't know till this day, really, why current things had to happen. I wanted the world to know I didn't always feel good like Nick was proud to have me as a partner. And I'm so happy I can say now and still know how awesome I am. I'm proud that I can say the truth and how I'm healthy emotionally and wouldn't change my insane insecurities that I prayed off my life. I had many hurts and pains way before Nick. I never felt love that was safe as a kid. So no, Nick, you didn't cause that pain. I had it long before us. Yeah, she had it long. You knew she had it long before you because she wouldn't have waited 8 years for a man to see her value, and she still exited the relationship and still said, I still don't know if you loved me or not after 8 years. That's a long time, y'all. 8 years is a long time for somebody to see your value. That's a long time. I see women waiting 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And that's another thing. The length of time that you stay in these situations, that for me is what gets me. Like 13 years. I was watching a clip of Stevie J and Jocelyn and Mimi. And Mimi acting like she got the prize with Stevie J. And you waited around 13 years. 13 years. And he still don't see your value. 13 years, that's a long time. She said, I never felt love that was safe as a kid. So no, Nick, you didn't cause that pain. I had it long before us, and I put it off on you unfairly. No, he took advantage of that, girl, without seeing my healing needed to be deeper past us. I mean, you added to it, right. But my fear, hold on, let me find my place. But you added to it. But my fear of not being loved wasn't broken by you. I'd like to publicly say that. I felt like you always put the other women on a pedestal, and I was beyond unstable about that. And she's a brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman. And you got all these other women he's putting on a pedestal. I'm sure that fucked her up too. The women, the kind of women, what they look like being put on pedestals. And you a goddamn international supermodel. Do you hear me? And he's still mishandling you and mistreating you. I have to say these things because I'm going to move on from public shame that has been over my life since I was at the top of my game in fashion. I know that truth now about just how much healing I needed, and God has taken my hurt. I'm not ashamed of being beautiful and successful and not being loved with care throughout my life because there's big, big love coming to me that will fill up my memories with joy. God will get the glory out of my broken past, not shame or sadness. The truth is, Nick and I were both beautifully broken when we were children and didn't know how to love each other. Instead, we hurt each other. It's time for her to tell her story. Tell about put the Yelp review out, Jessica. Put the goddamn Yelp review out. And that's another part of it. The other part of it is when you are in these types of relationships where you're being mistreated and undervalued and you're ashamed, right? Because you don't want to be ridiculed by the collective of women. You don't want to feel like I was dumb. Yeah, you were dumb. A lot of us were dumb, okay? A lot of us did not show up the way we should have showed up. A lot of us waited too long for somebody to see our value before we were like, peace, girl, gone, get out of here. And and what happens is when you have the guilt and the shame and being embarrassed, oh my God, I can't believe I was with this man for 8 years and he still didn't see my value. He still put other women above me. Still had how many babies by how many different women in such a short amount of time. He still did all those things. Now you got to put the Yelp review out. That's why they don't want you to say anything. They want you to feel guilt. They want you to feel embarrassed. They want you to be afraid of the public ridicule, right? From whatever community you belong to. They want you to be afraid of that. So you don't put the Yelp review out. Put the Yelp review out on these niggas. When you don't know these men and you get in a relationship with these men and they start acting crazy and start acting weird like weirdos, that's different. But when the Yelp reviews are out, Bambi, you sitting over there with a man-child, a literal man-child. And he has exhibited no other behavior than a man-child ever that I've seen. Anybody else can ever tell me when they seen Scrappy act like a mature man? No. I see a man, an immature man-child. You got 3 children with this fucking, you had them back to back. Did you think that you were going to have a different experience? Bambi is sitting over there having to move out of her house because the head of household is not paying his portion of the mortgage. And so now her and her 3 kids have to move out of their house. Then y'all get into these jive-ass, weird-ass relationships where you act like these motherfuckers are the heads of household. And you over there being the house manager, playing this role like my man, and that motherfucking man is not paying his half of the mortgage. So now you and your 3 kids got to move out, and he over there talking about, I'm helping you move. Bambi said, you should have been trying to help me stay in this motherfucker. What are you talking about? You're not paying your half of the rent? Mortgage? Whatever the fuck. That's how you know he's a child. You have 3 children and a wife. And she's being called saying, we only got a partial payment for your mortgage. What? Now she got to move. Bambi once said, you don't stay for the kids, you leave for the kids. And I hope that she sticks by that. Because, baby, there's no way that you thought that this restaurant was under new management. It has never been under new management because you hoes keep walking into that motherfucker thinking you're going to have a different dining experience. Jessica White, same thing. There's no way you thought Nick was going to value you. Has he valued anyone else, including himself, in the time that you've known Nick Cannon? No, he don't value himself. Girl. So share your story, honey. Put your Yelp review out there. It's not going to change because the women think, honey, they think they could cook and their pussy is wetter and all of this other stuff. So they're going to be different. They're going to have a different dining experience. You over there going through it. And then I see later that she's fighting with Erica, arguing with Erica. There's no way. That's the part that trips me up. Is, you know, the Yelp reviews are out. You've seen how his previous partner was treated. And you walk into that motherfucker and on your way in, you doing nanny boo-boo to the other woman. Girl, what? Nanny boo-boo? No, girl. Give it some time. He's going to treat you the same fucking way. Give it some goddamn time. I want to read some of these comments about Sukiana. Hold on. Girl. Talking about Sukiana deserved it. Y'all are out of control. And then when she was on there with A1, he was talking crazy. I can't even play what he was saying to her. Then he shows her a picture of his penis. She didn't ask for that, did she? I gotta watch the whole thing. Pay attention to the people who don't understand consent. I'm sorry, he's not right, but this comes with what you do and how you present yourself to the world. You can't expect people to respect you if you don't respect yourself. So that looks like she's not respecting herself, so other people don't have to respect her. They think you F with stuff like that because that's the image you give off. That's your whole brand. She painted this persona of herself. Now it's a problem. It's crazy how men talk about so much nasty and vulgar stuff in their raps, and you don't see them getting sexually harassed in interviews. Y'all think Candy is innocent? That's what somebody said. She was very engaged in the conversations on this show because I watched the entire hour and 25 minutes, and she wanted to see the picture. Her exact words were, "I'll judge," because he was asked about his size. So yes, the unwanted kiss is one thing, but on this episode, she wanted to see the pic, and she was on a sex podcast talking about how she likes men to pee in her wigs and her mouth and so on. Yes, and let me tell you something about Sukiana. And you can watch it when somebody showed another clip of her with Cam Newton's raggedy ass. It's an act, right? When she's bringing the persona to the interview, right? No, she's not? Okay. Stop trying to tear down all our black men. Our black men. Stop trying to tear all our black men down, showing pieces of clips from these interviews. I don't know this guy, but she wanted to see his wiener. Right, so you don't want all black men to be torn down, and you don't even know this motherfucker. You don't know A1, and you out here saying don't tear the black man down. And Candy just sitting there laughing. These comments make me cringe. Level of hate for women is so vivid when she's victimized. You could tell she was uncomfortable in both interviews, no matter how much she raps about having good puss, or no matter if she's a content creator or not. It doesn't give you an invitation to her body, to her space, or to violate her by showing her pictures of your penis. It's violent and it's disgusting. No shade. Candy should really have checked that situation and not laughed. That was not okay at all. No, Candy said, "You're being aggressive." And he basically said, "Nah, fuck that." She met her match, basically. Basically. That's it. That's all I got to say, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.